Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pan Yu. I'm one of the product managers for this capstone project. It's my honor to be here to present in front of you the demos of this web-based product, MVP product for BitTiger, a project-driven online education platform. Our title today here is On Top of Communication Game. Before I jump into our topic, I would like to briefly introduce you our team members. Our team is comprised of 5 lovely people. Apart from 2 product managers, me and Xiaoyu, we have Wendy and Wei as UI UX designers, Qi as full stack engineer. So our topic today is communication. People's ways of communicating with each other is ever evolving. From the ancient times of using pigeons to send delivery messages, to our current days of using emails and every types of online messaging systems. So when we are talking about communication, we spend in our modern context, as technology has infused every aspect of our daily life, we spend less and less time communicating with each other through face-to-face occasions, but most of the time we're using online interactions, such as sending a voice message to your parents in China, talking about getting an A on this course, or informing your friends about your upcoming graduation through Messenger on Facebook, or having your friends come out and hang out with you on GroupMe. Statistics shows that people spend 60% more time on average with their phone than with their PC. So it's not surprising, and it's fairly smart for BitTiger to heavily focus on WeChat, a Chinese online messaging networking application, to carry out the company's marketing campaigns to get more attraction from their Chinese users, which is the main marketing target. However, all of this actually does not deny the very important fact that it is the website that people search, it is the web end product of BitTiger, mainly the website that people searches on Google that leaves the first impression about their company. It is the backbone, it is the backbone of how much trust the users may have upon BitTiger. It is the website that makes that legitimatize, that validates users' recognition of BitTiger as a leader in the online education platform. So the design and the very features, the web end product of BitTiger, that is the website that it has a very, very important deciding factor in terms of how much revenue it can bring, along with their with their mobile and market campaigns with their mobile end focus. So our stance here today is to remind the C-suite of BitTiger to take a step back, to re-examine the features, the pros and cons, the deficiencies of the current features on their website. And fortunately, we have come up with various improvements on 3 features for you. And they're first, pop-up box, second, course chat, the third, notification. These 3 features fortunately are readily built, and you can readily incorporate them and modify a little bit in your web frame source code, and you're good to go. So hopefully you will like our improvements, and we're open to any kind of feedback. So as we have learned from the class, MVP, it is actually a learning process. It is a learning process for the product managers, for the team, to know more about the characteristics of the users so that you can tailor your products and you tailor your features to satisfy their needs, to resolve their pain points. So before we jump to really getting our hands dirty, we come up with a 10-question survey. And interestingly, we have identified 2 target user personas that we want to build our cases upon. These are the two very edge user personas that are really interesting to know. The first type, we describe them as curious but not affirmative. So what are the characteristics are like? They have quite a bit of knowledge or basic knowledge about the course content. They probably have, taken courses, several series of courses during college, or they have been working in a course-related work fields or industry for quite a long time. Well, their incentive to browsing or even beyond to enrollment, browsing the course or to be enrollment into the course is that they want to check the knowledge gap they have between what they currently know and what is out there for them to learn. So they want to check the discrepancy, and they want to make sure and they want to decide whether they want to make up for that discrepancy. Or secondly, simply they just want to build the network. They want to expand their network. They want to connect with the teachers who are usually very professional and have a lot of expertise in the industry. So based on that two incentives, we know that it's really, really important about how the course syllabus is designed, or whether they will decide based on their answer to the question that if she can learn new things from the course. And secondly, it is very important that they want to know, they need a lot of attention. They want the course representatives to actively approach them and resolve their confusion and get their questions cleared, as soon as possible. And the second type of user, we call them inquisitive but not motivated. Well, we call them newbies. That means they have zero knowledge, no basic knowledge. They probably have read one book or two, but they really know nothing about the detailed skill sets that course can deliver. Well, talking employment-wise, they probably, they're working course content irrelevant fields. So I'm a management consultant. I haven't worked in product management, so I want to know more about that. My incentive to browsing the course is that I want to jump ship. I want to switch my career. And the same applies to in-school students. They're technically employed, but they're probably majoring in literature, and they want to know more about, full stack engineering. So that's their incentive. They want to, either expand their knowledge base or get them prepared for job hunting or get them prepared for jumping ship. So the incentive for them to buy the course is really, how much trust they can assert upon, BitTiger as a company or as an education platform. It depends on, if they can get more career-related guidance from course representatives, from the teachers, whether they can get more assurance about being confident of their choice of jumping ship or of their choice of switching career. So today we are not really talking about those people who are, very loyal fans of BitTiger. It's not me, I'm one of them. So having like a political analogy, we're talking about these people, these two types are living in a waving states. So they are not really Democratic, they're not Republican, they're kind of waving. So it's really important, how BitTiger, addresses these two types of people. And our features are specifically tailored to resolve their pain points. Our first feature, so when we're talking about communication, we want to hit their questions accurately. We want to talk to them effectively in a really quick way so that their confusions gets cleared, so that they're ready to get enrolled. So the first thing we think about is pop-up box, which is, many current online e-commerce platforms have adopted to quickly collect user data, to quickly collect user contact information. However, if we look at what BitTiger currently has, it doesn't really have a direct or clear pop-up box window. The current pop-up box feature is hidden at the end of a course web page. So you can see I take a screenshot, and this is the only place which is at the very end after you click a course details. It is hidden down there. I won't have a time, I won't spend that much time to go over there to click on any of those buttons. So basically this is futile. And secondly, if you take a closer look, you see two choices out there for people to choose. And the title is subscribe to receive updates on this course. For me, this is a really confusing choice to make. That's the hardest decision in my life. Because, well, I'm interested, but, well, there's free lecture, which one should I choose? Well, 90% of the chance of a reasonably logical people, I believe they would choose free lecture because that's more practically, useful for them. However, it's still a hard choice. This is not mutually exclusive. So if you click I'm interested, a new page will jump out saying that, okay, this course will get you updated or blah, blah, blah. And then you have to click another button to return to the class page to continue viewing or do other actions. We see this very repetitive and very inefficient because it makes the user to jump back and forth between pages. Instead of doing this, we recommend BitTiger to have a suspending window where a user don't have to stop on reviewing the website and then read further long messages down here. And even if you don't click I'm interested, you click free lecture, wow, that's even worse. That's a lot. It's very ambitious and busy. It asks too much from me. It asks not only my WeChat ID, I may not really want to give you, or why you're interested in taking this course, you gotta type and even ask for a resume. That's really a lot. So for the two types of user we're talking about here, they're on the edges of making choices. They don't have that much time. They're fine with just browsing. They don't want to going through this arduous process to get assigned or get signed up or whatever. So this is blocking them away to next step. So what we do is really simple and elegant. So you can first log in to overview the course. We have, like business analytics, UX 550 or CS 504. And then what we do is that you can click UX 502 and a pop-up box will jump out and ask you only one question. Only ask is your email address. If possible, you can even ask for phone number so that you can directly cold call them. And then the only button for you to choose is not only, but the other one is no thanks, which is clear and mutually exclusive from free sources. So you can just clearly click this one, and the average time you spend over here is like 30 seconds or less. It's simple and elegant. Most importantly, if you go back to your course overview again and you click on the other one, the pop-up box will jump out again. The reason why we designed it this way is because, as we have said, we want to hit the users with what they're really interested in. This way builds up an automatic funnel for our back-end people to push the recommendations, to push the email content to the right people. For example, I am a designer to be, I'm interested in UX, I only click this one. And that means you will only push me like UX related career guidance or UX related templates or all these freebies that I am really interested in, instead of pushing me, full stack engineering or other things. Just a quick demo about this feature. So you go through each course, you click on UX, you put your email address. Here we're pretending I'm Sarah. You're getting the free resources, that's it. And then you get going again. Quick and simple. feature is after you look at the course details. For normal people, you will have questions, and especially for those two types of people. They're not sure if they should buy the course, they want to know more, they want to check if the teachers are legitimate, if the course representatives are knowledgeable, so they come up with a lot of questions. So what do you do with that? Except, from your WeChat features of this arduous process of, quick QR code and then add that person and wait for that person to get back to you. Let's look at what the current feature the web end product has. You see that the problem we examine is BitTiger does not have a dynamic and ever updating Q&A session in their web page, in their course page. Instead, it has an FAQ, again, hidden just a little bit above the pop-up box. And it is in an archived, stale format with 1 or 2 questions, which means nothing. The cons is that it's not constantly updated with new questions or answers and hidden at the end of the page, hard to find, and it's not, it's no built-in feature to allow users to ask a question that's not there. You cannot ask a question down here, you can only view them. It's like a read mode. And another thing we noticed is the live chat BitTiger has. It's interesting, so I did a test. I text that girl called Catherine, and I get this testing, are you here? And I've been waiting for like 2 minutes or even more for her to get back to me. And that's a long wait of time. So, when I come to this live chat box, my expectation is that this is a live chat. That means back and forth. You're like talking to me face to face, no breaks. However, it is not the kind of live chat I expect. So it's live chat, not live. It's failing my user expectations. Furthermore, this is an ephemeral chat. That means if you open a new live chat box, you cannot see the old messages down there. And most importantly, for those two types of people, particularly for the first user type, they are pretty, knowledgeable in the field. They know much about the technical details. So it's likely and very likely for them to come up with technical detailed questions that course representative like Catherine cannot answer. So it's like, again, a waste of their time to ask and not get it answered right away. So those are the problems we observe. So how do we improve them? After you log in, you go to the course chat. The course chat is a place for you to ask any question you want in a foreign type of format. And for now, we have observed that BitTiger doesn't have much courses going on, so we categorize them in 3 types. And then if you're UX designer course, and then you can just put your question here like, can you tell me more about UX 101? You can type here and the admin will tell you. And later on in the demo, you will see you can see your message get delivered with a notification here. So the customer benefits are simple. You can see the historical questions other people have posted there, so you don't have, and also it's ever updating. You don't have to put your own down there, and you can just look at their answers. So you can just look at the question banks. And you can post specific questions right away. You don't have to spend a lot of time, on the live chat and not getting a live conversation. And you can also see your message get delivered. For admins, which is very important, we think, is that we can collect students' feedback from this ever updating question bank. So you can do something like NLP or text analysis, such as topic modeling, to understand the topics discussed here, to further prepare for next launch of this course, or just get a general sense of what users are discussing about. And Furthermore, it's showing transparency and personal tailored care towards each poster. So you're answering the questions person to person, and it's very transparent that to make sure your answers are consistent and standard. Further, it can help you to visually understand how popular each course is by just looking at how many questions down here or how many discussions are going on each thread. So for this one, if UX has a 10, back and forths, UX is more popular than PM, which only have 2 back and forths. And that tells you something that you cannot get from WeChat, right? Because WeChat doesn't allow you to, is a little bit secretive about giving user behavior statistics. But here you can do the statistics by your own. You can even use Google Analytics to, drive business intelligence, which benefits the firm in long run. Here's just like a quick course chat demo. So it's starting from the beginning. You type BitTiger and you review the course. And you click UX designing class. And then you put your email address. As Sarah. And then you continue, browsing the course. You log into your personal profile with your credentials. Sarah at Gmail, your password. Okay, so now you go to the course chat under resources. Here you go. You go to UX and you ask your questions, and your questions get answered. Let's see. Yeah, this is the admin account. So you ask your questions here. Ask Wendy, what is the time commitment to this course? You send it, and you see that your message get delivered. Here, it's grayed out. And from the admin side, he receives the question, and then he can answer that over here. And all the previous questions get stored as historical messages. Good. Okay, our next launch for this course chat feature is that we want to have a more management-oriented dashboard that you can, easily rank the question criteria into high, medium, or low, and you can, you can add due dates, due today or tomorrow or some other days you designate over there, and you can adding, features. We add features of here. You can select and you can delete the old messages that's been, there for a while, and you can delete questions in a bulk format, quick and fast, and you can direct the questions through down here to the course teacher and ask them to answer that. And importantly, you can easily navigate among different courses and quickly check the number of questions over each course. That's our next launch. Our final feature is about notification. We know that the current way BitTiger does push notification is mainly through Gmail or email or sometimes WeChat. For example, Joy, my good friend, she always tells us and reminds us about the course starting in an hour or in one day through email. That means there is basically no notification feature on the website, on BitTiger website. And the only way of getting notification is through email or WeChat. What's the problem, right? Really, because BitTiger is heavily focusing on WeChat or email. People tend to be are educated or trained to check their email for the notifications. But imagine if later on you expand your market and extend your targeting audience to some people who don't have a WeChat, or some people in China who cannot access Google, or there are many other cases that you cannot solve the push notification problem using these two ways. So it doesn't really hurt for the engineering team for BitTiger to build the notification feature within the BitTiger website, and that way, it just doesn't hurt, and it's easier for people to get notified a third way to make sure they don't miss a single message. So the notification improvement we have is from the original title of 5 tabs, we add one more new type and made it blue, called notification with an unread message notification button, unread message icon here. So for admins, if you click notification, you can write to students in a form of email from the web end. So if you happen to be on the BitTiger website, you can just type all the user email addresses, or later on you can even just type their names, and then you can put your information down here that you can send it out. And for students' benefits, for me, I gave BitTiger 2 email addresses. One of them is that I never check, is the email address that's full of discount coupon codes or whatever. And the other one is I check once for a while, but still I don't really like the fact that these notifications are flooding my email boxes. It's like I have to delete them one by one, or I have to make a specific category in my email address by adjusting the setting. But it's a lot of trouble for me. I don't like the fact. So I don't want it to flood my email box. And so that, instead of getting emails, I can just receive notifications from my web end. So also I can check how many unread messages I have. But on emails, usually if you don't set up a category or you don't set up like a receiving group, you cannot check the number of messages you have not read. So here, we just make it look like emails, but instead of having them flooded your mailbox, you can just get it from the web end. And the feature demo here is going to be really long, so I would like to just quickly go down here and drag to the last feature. Okay, here you log in. You click 我的账户, so you go to your profile. This is the admin. His name is Stephen Curry, and he's in charge of UX 501. And later, he hits the notification, and he can just put, so that he puts his information there. Oops. Oh no. Yeah, so he puts, reminder your course starts in 1 hour. And then he can log out. And we log in to the student end, the student account. And we go to my profile. And this is student's profile. Her name is Sarah. She's enrolled in UX 501. If you go down, you can see this cat, dog, fox, tiny kitty are all his teachers. She can directly send in them notifications if she wants to. And also you can see these homeworks are put in tabs. She can just hit each tab to submit her homework. And it's also a way of storing them in a systematic and archived format for her future reference. So that we go to the notification, it seems that she has one notification to read, and she hits it, and she sees, okay, that's the reminder for UX course. And if she click it, she doesn't even have to click it because she knows what it usually reads. She can just go on and delete it if she wants to. So this one is, if you scroll down, yeah, so you can see the content. So if you scroll down, you can see all the messages you have, and you can just decide from the title of it, of your next step, of whether opening it or not. Alright, that's our third feature and our last feature. Cool. So what are the product KPIs? After this MVP, we really want to check quantitatively and have all these numbers to show us whether it's a failure or a success. We haven't get our chance to touch about, upon A/B testing or getting these KPI metrics or KPI statistics, but we have come up with a metric for that. We want to look at the acquisition. For example, how many of the users have visited our site, and how many of them doesn't abandon. They don't abandon by the form that they've used at least one course and stay 10 more seconds on either the landing page or the course page. And activation-wise, we want to know how many of them have set up their email account and started setting up their profile, of uploading their pictures, of completing their PII, their personal identifiable information. And we want to know how many of them even leave their phone number in their profile and answer, how many of them have picked up a phone, have had some interpersonal connection with the course representatives or the teachers. And retention-wise, we have 4 bullet points. We want to see, how long they've stayed on a session and the number of clicks they made during each of their visits. And we want to see, how many questions they have submitted through the course chat feature to course representatives for them to answer. And also we want to see if they have repeating visits during the first 30 days. They come back to check if they have a new notification, or they come back to check if their questions get answered on a course chat channel. And lastly, we want to see if they answered our phone call from our course representative like Karen or Joy, for feedback collection. And referral is, we want to check if they have referred 1 or more plus friends who sign up course in the end by adding this feature, after adding all these 3 features. And revenue-wise, definitely we want to see, who have signed up at least 1 course, so that we bring in revenue. So basically that's it for today. Now to quickly summarize, we have provided you 3 improved features. The first one is pop-up box to collect users' email address and to set up an automatic funnel for you to push the right information to the right people. And the second feature is about course chat, where students get vet out their questions, they get their confusions cleared, and they also can view the dynamically updating, question bank and see what other people are discussing. And to the admin wise, they can have a sense of how popular a course is. They can have a sense of whether one student have 10 questions or the other one only has 1, so that I can focus more on the students with more questions, things like that. And the third feature is called push notification. So the push notification feature is an add-on to BitTiger and provides a different pathway or channel for your staff to send out notification to your students. So apart from using WeChat or traditional emailing system, we can just use the push notification, a built-in feature on the web end to, remediate the flooding email and flying emails in students' email boxes. We believe that these 3 features greatly improve the current status quo and the current features BitTiger has, and it is very appealing. Actually, it is kind of important and time urgent for the C-suite of BitTiger to take a step back and to re-examine their web end product. So that they don't ignore the importance of it, and so that they can have more user behavior tracking features, they can have more business intelligence driven from using Google Analytics or their own CRM, and these all features benefit benefit the company in the long run. Thank you so much for your attention. This is a super long presentation, but I really enjoyed what I've learned from product management course, along with teacher Nate and teacher Joey. Thank you so much for listening.